Let's go to TikTok. Let's listen to
I don't
these women crashing out. Let's listen to the crash out, guys. Let's go.
I don't think you all are fully grasping what it means for black women as a whole to be taking a step back. But allow me to illustrate what that's going to look like for you. When there's a bunch of mess going on at work and you can see that there's this one person harassing people, or when people aren't getting paid well, when usually black women would have stepped up and started advocating. They're not doing that anymore. When you're in the checkout line and somebody behind the counter is being rude to you, or vice versa, and a black woman steps in usually to advocate or to step in and, calm things down, they're not doing that anymore. When the news is reporting about the horrendous things happening in your own country or in our own country, and things are
Do you hear this? Nonsense.
Black women follow train for the 93% of black women who voted for Kamala.
See? This is what I'm talking about. Who did she get her stats from? Who did this woman get her stats from? Who did she get her stats from? Look at this. Look at this deception right here. And me personally, I do not date women who wear weave, makeup, or wigs or anything like that. I don't do that. You have to come to me naturally. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it took her a while to put all this on, this whole get up, this deception right here. She could have spent that time putting this on to look up this number. It's 91%. It is not 93. It never was 93. What are we talking about? Let's continue. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Black women follow train for the 93% of black women who voted for Kamala. I am blocking and unfollowing everybody else. We are done.
Bye. Bye. What do you mean? Bye. Let's listen to somebody else crash out.
So here we are, day 4 post-election. And you guys are on here upset that we've decided to opt out. My question is why? Pre-election, all we had heard was black women don't matter, black women are insignificant, black women this, black women that. But yet here we are. And all we're hearing is wham, wham.
Listening to these uneducated people give their ignorant opinions, doesn't it just make you sick? These people have to understand that the people on your Facebook is in your world. That is completely anecdotal. That's not the rule. That's just what you experience. I have friends that don't even know Usher, who Usher is. Right? People have to understand, whoever is big in your world doesn't mean that everybody else knows what you're talking about. You can't speak for the whole group. Continue.
And why are y'all leaving us? Why won't y'all include us? Nah. Keep that same energy you had pre-election, where we didn't matter. Cash that check, okay? Because you spoke that into existence. And so here we are.
All right, lady. She's crashing out. Let's look at this one.
That's why I don't think it ain't this. How many times you around, you won't think something else like.
When you're a black woman who voted for Trump, okay, the person in the background must be the person mad.
You don't think something like. I don't understand how you won't understand.
That's funny. Like I said, it's so embarrassing that black women only voted for Kamala Harris because she looks like them. She literally said she's not even black. She says she's like Indian or something like that, which is crazy. That's all the more embarrassment part about it, but it is what it is, I guess. Let's move along. Let's see. Black women the next 4 years.
Sorrows, prayer.
Yeah, no, I don't care about that. Let's see.
but we can go to a different life.
We didn't win. Nothing is funny today.
Library. Do you want to go to a different? Do you want to go to the park or library? Can we go to the library?
No. How about we check out the library and see if we like it, and if we don't, we can go to a park.
I know she's crying because Kamala Harris lost. I wouldn't be crying about that. Dude, they voted Joe Biden in office. I was scared for a second, bro, for the country that he won. Now, I know they technically cheated. I mean, if you look at those votes that he got in the 2020 election, the highest votes ever, of course they cheated. But this dude couldn't even complete a sentence. Most times he would get lost and didn't even know where he was, and you voted that guy in the White House. Embarrassing. Anyway, I know she's crying, but I'm glad that she wants to take her child to the library, because most of the people, especially single African American women's children, they can read at a 5th grade level, and that's it. That's it. So she's good on trying to take her child to the library, but all this crying for Kamala, no, get it out of here. Bye. Let's go check on somebody else.
There's so many black women on this app that have already said, stop apologizing to black women for not showing up the way that black women always show up for everybody all the time. Stop apologizing for that. And I completely agree. I just want to offer an alternate solution, because there's nothing we can do with an apology. So instead of apologizing to black women, you could do these things. You could maybe actually uplift and follow these black creators, these black women creators that you said you were going to 4 years ago, that you said you were going to 2 years ago.
And she's not talking about nothing. She's not talking about anything important. Let's go down. Let's see.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power. Black men talking about something.
First of all, I am a traditional man. My woman is my wife. Okay? A traditional man should want a wife, not a business partner, a career-driven woman. That's just me. I'm a traditional guy. Okay? I will take care of you for the rest of your life. Okay? And you play a traditional woman's role. The problem with some of these women is they want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women. They want to have their own business, and they want you to pay all the bills. No. That's the perk and luxury of a traditional woman who is feminine, who is cooperative, okay? Who's willing to stay at home, who's willing to be a great helpmeet, okay? That's not these modern women that a lot of us see. There are some modern women who fall into this category. Trust me, personal experience. But anyway, let's move on.
I don't want no black woman and tell me what to do. Okay, but wasn't you raised by a black woman?
And also, why, excuse me, bear with me, I have a little cough. Why in the world would I want to vote for a woman, whether she is African American or Caucasian or any other ethnic group for that matter, who was vice president to somebody who I thought was mentally ill? What? Again, why would I want to vote for somebody who brought Cardi B out to encourage me to vote when she acts and carries herself like a complete peasant? She's a court gesture. Anyway, let's start this over. I'm not going to interrupt her. Let her cook. Let her talk.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power. Black men talking about I don't want no black woman and tell me what to do. Okay, but wasn't you raised by a black woman? Why are you scared of black women telling you what to do all of a sudden? Don't you live with your mama still? Oh, sorry, you live with your grandma. Don't your baby mom raise your kids? Don't your baby mom...
Genuinely, how are you?
The way that...
See, this is what I don't like about these ghetto peasants. And not all black women are ghetto. I'm talking about the ones who are. This is what I don't like about these ghetto peasants. And this is why I only debate my equals, all others I teach. When ghetto people, and it can be any ethnic group, when ghetto people get upset because they can't have an intellectual conversation, do you know what they resort to? they resort to violence and insults. Why does she have to talk about the guys who didn't vote for Kamala? Why do they have to be living with their grandmother? Why is it that they have to have baby mamas? Why is it that they have to be sassy or broke? Like, why can't they just have an opinion that's not yours? That's clearly not educated. Hold on, let's skip ahead a little bit.
Don't your baby mom raise your kids? Don't your baby mom pay your bills? Don't your baby mom give you a car to drive? What's going on here? Don't you and your baby mom live with your mom? Talking about some black women can't run that. What are you talking about? Black women are historically the backbone of society. The way that
What? Okay. Listen, African American women have the lowest divorce rate on this planet. They are the least desirable on the planet. African American women, not African women. African American women are the least desirable on the planet because of their behavior, not because of how they look. Let's see. I'm so sick of this ignorance, bro. Let's see if we can find something else.
So 95% of black women came together last.
Okay, so it went from 93% to 95%. What are we talking about here? It is 91%. How did it jump up a whole 4%? The false propaganda for no reason, bro. No reason at all. And then if you look in these comments of the willfully ignorant supporting another uneducated opinion, it baffles me, dude. This is beyond crazy. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Last night and decided that we was going to support one black woman. 95% of us came together to support one black woman.
I'm sorry. She's saying this so with so much confidence, and she's so wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let you guys listen. Jeez, this is ridiculous.
So 95% of black women came together last night and decided that we was going to support one black woman. 95% of us came together to support one black woman. So if 95% of us can come together to support one black woman, 95% of us can come together to support all black women. Like, it really just opened my eyes to know that as a community, we don't need nobody else. We literally can change the trajectory of our own lives as black women. 95% of us supporting one cause can move mountains. We don't really need nobody to campaign for us. We don't need nobody to represent us. We 95% repping ourselves.
This is my
women's rights are huge.
So 90.
Driving and recording is very dangerous, people. Do not attempt that.
Decisions come together in solidarity to make sure something happens. Regardless of the outcome, 95% of us stood 10 toes down and supported our counterpart. 95% of us. So I say that to say, if 95% of us is willing to support one black woman, 95% of us can support the majority of black women. We can decide to build our own communities. We can raise our own funds. We can select our own leaders. We can change the lives of our children in our own hands, on our own time. We would love the support of a black man. We want you if you want to come. But if you fickle and don't know what to do.
Somebody else is hurt. She's obviously hurt. She's obviously hurt, bro. Listen. This is why my dating standards are so different from what people accept in my community, in the community I used to be a part of, the community that I grew up in which I've separated myself from since. As a woman, if you want to date me, you must walk in your feminine energy at all times. There's a lot of women who say, if the guy I'm dating is if he's acting feminine, I'm going to be in masculine energy. You should never feel like you need to be masculine at all as a woman. That is your most powerful gift, to be feminine. Okay? If you use profane language in public as a woman. You cannot be mine. That is not classy. That is so ugly. It is so distasteful. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Do 95% of us do. We know what to do. That just proved to me that, as we all know,
She's so passionate about the conversation. She's closing her eyes and taking her eyes off the road as she's driving. This is dangerous. It really is. Do not repeat this, kids.
black women don't need nobody else. We always only had ourselves. So all we got to do is get it. Who representing? Who's starting the cause? Because I guarantee you, as long as a black woman got breath in her body, if you tell her she got to pay some dues to change the life of her kids and her grandchildren for a future, if she got to pay a couple dollars every month to make sure a program exists where her child is safe, 95% of black women are going to do it. What we going to do? We could create our own communities. We can live within our own communities. We invite black men to...
It's interesting that she says that they can create their own communities. You know, the African American people, fresh out of slavery in 1865, less than 40 years out of slavery, built prominent communities in the country. Actually, factually, the most famous one being the Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street, which was ultimately torn down by bigots. We don't want to build. Do you guys know what the 4 major institutions are? Hospital, supermarket, bank, school. We don't own any of those institutions, and none of us are oppressed. None of us are working in the field for free labor. None of us are being treated like slaves at all. We are $10 trillion people in the country, yet we own nothing. Absolutely nothing. But when a ghetto black person gets a little bit of money, they go and buy a Mercedes so they can show you their value. My mentor is worth $20 million and he drives a Camry. Guess what ethnic group he belongs to? He's Caucasian. I will never get people. I really don't. Let's finish listening to her.
Too, but you got to be ready to be down with 95% black woman. I'm so proud of us. So 95%.
Jesus.
This is my black woman public service announcement. America, you showed us your true colors right there behind that election ballot box. So I'm officially joining the Black Woman 4-year PTO movement. From here on out, if it doesn't directly benefit me and my family, don't ask me. Don't ask me to protest, forward stuff, like stuff on social.
They keep talking about this 4 years. We're going to win the office again in the next 4 years. It's going to be Republican. It's never going to be Democrat again. Hopefully. Never, ever again.
So don't ask me. Asian hate? Got my popcorn.
This is trash. This is unclassy behavior.
Mass deportations of Latinos?
This is what Kamala have these women doing, bro. She has them crashing out. This woman literally insulted you, black woman, by bringing out rappers and entertainers who do nothing for you politically to tell you to vote. And you didn't find that insulting? That's the biggest insult. The Democratic Party. Jeez.
Jewish hostages? Terrible. Black women have always been needed to show up, stand up, and speak up for everyone else's battles. But what about ours? It was not reciprocated in this election. We will no longer be taken for granted. You knew exactly who you were voting for. Nobody stands for. I'm wearing sunglasses because I was crying and my eyes are so puffy.
Interesting.
But my sadness has now turned to anger and action. So when things start unraveling and you need and you start panicking and you need allies to protest and help support, don't look over here. Not anymore, because here's what my vibe will be. This is my black woman.
Women's rights are human rights. Yes. We should not be at risk for our lives. My friends who are trans, who are gay, should not have to risk for their lives every single day. We are the ones affected by this, and we're only a
What is she affected?
year out from voting in the most important election. Us women, we are the ones getting affected. Our rights, our college next year, we are the ones who will be mainly affected by this.
This is amazing. I love this. I have 2 young daughters. I have a beautiful wife, and I know that.
He's a simp. He's a simp. I can already hear it. He's clearly a simp.
Kamala Harris would fight for their rights. She is a young perspective. She's a person of color, and she is a good representation of our country.
Donald Trump is not good for this country. He wants to take away gender-affirming healthcare for minors, which directly impacts me. He is reducing gun safety laws, and
Fellas, ladies, who aren't on the liberal side, we cannot let Kamala Harris get into the White House. Ever.
he's making a very difficult environment for anyone who is a rich.
You can
How
tell,
likely are you to...
You can tell none of these people have any type of education. You can just tell. All right, let's go to the next. Let's look at the last crash out dummy. The next crash out dummy.
I don't think a lot of y'all understand how distressing it is when a black woman stops caring. When she cuts you off, it can be devastating and distressing. I've watched it happen in my own life a few times. By the time a black woman shuts off her heart and blocks you,
We don't care.